AWS erstellt So finally, welcome one and all to the third game of our Brawl 1066 tournament finals. It's looking pretty good. Looks like everything has succeeded here in our reload, and we're already in the game, of course. So this is gonna get underway shortly, as soon as everybody ends that first turn. But for this game today, I've got a little surprise for all of you listening here. I've brought a guest on finally, a topic that something I've tried to make work for a long time here. Uh, for this one, I'm gonna co-commentate, I guess, the game with Reva, who you've of course already heard on my podcast, for example. So this should be great fun. Yeah, Reva, what do you think? Any first impressions that are noteworthy here?
Yeah, well, firstly, hey mate, good to be here. Yeah, so we've finally got a game with Zulu, right? First one.
Yeah, that's the big story. Obviously, that's the blockbuster pick here. Finally, it's taken a good while, but teams have finally opted for a different draft strategy, and it's actually so cool because that's exactly what I've talked about on the last podcast episode, episode 2. This is exactly a strategy I wanted to see from Team Obi. Leave the Zulu up in the first rotation, then get a high tier pick in the second rotation. They actually chose Rome, which was the one I suggested. So this is going to be great fun, I believe. So what do you think? Is Zulu just going to take this one over, or what do you think? How do you like these picks here?
Yeah, well, I think that from our team perspective, we considered doing this a couple of times where we would let the team have Zulu as long as we got Inca.
All right.
So I imagine that's probably what's happened here. I think what seems to be particularly unfortunate is that Zulu is in the corner of this map. It's got limited options for attack, whereas Inca is a bit closer to its enemies.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so to me, it actually looks like, particularly with the Agri River and Obi being well placed near his enemies, that might actually, funnily enough, on this map, be a better pick than Zulu.
Oh well, but actually, you gotta. This is kind of a little bit of an optical illusion here. This one, because you gotta remember the teams here are a bit weird. You've got Incans down in the corner here, and they are of course pretty close to the Vikings, which are their enemies. But that's the same distance that Rome and Zulu have, right? That's the same distance there. But then the next enemy for the Incans is the Iroquois, which are yeah, which aren't that close. You got to remember that going diagonally is pretty far in Civ, whereas the next enemy for the Zulu is the Japanese, and that is actually closer to the Zulu, I believe, than the Iroquois are to the Incans. Yeah, I didn't count the tiles, but I think that should be true. I believe Japan is closer to Zulu than Iroquois is actually to the Incans. So in that regard, it is corner Zulu, but I do think they've got two enemies which they can harass. It's going to be obviously crucial whether or not they can deny Rome's iron, for example. That would be big. But I agree with you in a sense that it would, of course, be great for Anti if he got to actually pressure the Incans themselves, right? That's the dream scenario, in my opinion. But they didn't quite get that one here. So I guess yeah, both agris, of course, pretty decent starts, I suppose, right? Nothing you would complain about here. A bunch of BGs, forests as well. We've got the Vikings thrown into the mix as well. Just a little bit off coast, so I think they shouldn't have any trouble getting a fleet out at some point. So I believe everybody's going to be quite happy with the spots that they got, actually. Maybe the worst position here is maybe for Rome, which are quite isolated here in a 1v1 against Zulu, and you got to take into account that it's Sanjay against Antiquity too. So that's probably going to be the biggest concern for Team Obi here early on. Anything else that that jumps out here as something to keep track of early game?
Well, what's interesting is I think if that distance between Japan and Zulu is similar to the ones we were talking about before, and it's just that optical illusion, I think that Anti needs to make sure that he pressures more than one enemy, that he pressures both Rome and Japan. But with Japan's cheap to attack unit, Samurai, it's probably actually not a bad civ to defend impies, now that I
Yeah,
think about it.
great call. Great call, too. That's actually funny. And well, the only thing that maybe is a bit of a problem there then for archery. There's a bunch of forests, right? So that's going to be defense bonus for those impy. But I guess as long as they're just sitting on your forests, maybe you're fine with that actually. So yeah, good call. Maybe the Japanese are actually one of the 2 or 3 civs in the game that can actually deal quite fine with Zulu 1v1, and thus I guess Obi is really the most vulnerable one to the Zulu, and he's in a decent spot here. Uh, Iroquois and Inca already at war. Where did that happen? I must have missed that somewhere. Uh, oh, maybe they gave OBGA over here actually. I didn't quite catch that. But then that must have been the case there. Otherwise, no clue where that war deck would have come from.
Or it might have been the Incan scout, scouting.
Oh, right, yeah. He might. Oh, thanks, yeah. Thanks for that. He must have lost that scout. That's the logical explanation there. Fair enough. And it looks like Cheese is quite safe against this Chasky that's coming in here. Looks like, yeah, Obi's been walled off. Oh, he might have a shot at getting that work actually, but good move there by Cheese. Wow, oh my lord, did you see that? Obi just he just straight up hits into that capital and gets the promotion without losing across river too. That's crazy RNG. That's like Team Halu levels of pre turn 10 warrior 1v1s. What the hell is that? Oh boy. Yeah, and as Cheese called out earlier, I think Obi just went for the Pop Rush Granary as well, as we saw there in Cusco. So he's going to be in decent shape and a pretty safe spot, as you mentioned, so shouldn't have too much trouble early on. Interesting. So that's the first Zulu game that we're seeing in this tournament. So maybe not everybody is caught up to speed here on how you actually play out early games as Zulu. It looks like he opted for Scout into Impy here. No barracks yet. How do you feel about that? Is it good to get the Impy out ASAP? Do you prefer to get a barracks and stack a few of them? What's your call on this?
Oh, I think the extra HP on the Impi is worth it. I think, given how quickly enemies find each other, it's probably worth skipping the scout and waiting to hear what your teammates are saying about where they've seen enemy warriors. Um, I reckon
Interesting.
I probably prefer the early barracks, but it looks like Anti's taking a different approach.
I don't hate it, definitely, right? In general, in MPT, I always like to do scouts when I'm expansionist. This is of course not regular MPT, so I get what you're saying there, that it might be a bit different, ideally in this scenario. But still, I guess he's gonna get a couple of huts that he can take away from the enemies or something. Um, yeah, again, we just see he made a second MP without even a barracks, so it looks like he's really just trying to front load a bit here and get the pressure out as soon as possible. I actually think if your main goal was to sit on Rome's iron, I feel like that's a good approach to just get the Impy out as soon as possible to find and block the iron and then reinforce it with veteran Impies later on. But this way, yeah, I agree. Maybe the barracks could actually be worthwhile here. And at this point, I feel like everybody actually knows where their enemies are. Looks like everybody has located each other. So, gonna be curious how they play this one out. If we remember last game 2 of the finals, it escalated super quickly, where both teams just ended up rushing as soon as possible to an enemy, and we got that early kill there. So I expect nothing less here. I expect game plans to be formulated very quickly and executed upon. What do you think are going to be the military strategies here for both teams? What are they going to focus on as Anti actually ends up losing one of these scouts there to Obi? Decent move here. Yeah, what do you think? Who's actually going to be under fire first?
Yeah, well, I mean, it looks like those impies are heading straight to Japan. And what's actually interesting for that is that Japan is also militaristic, so it's got a cheap barracks. I'm just thinking that vet samurai are probably actually above a regular impi in terms of which unit will win the combat. So it looks like Anti is going for that early rush onto Archreaver, but I'm not sure if that's going to pay off if Archreaver goes early barracks, vet samurai.
Well, Fair enough. It looks like he might be able to get to do some damage here because he's here very early, right? Archie's just got barely enough warriors to protect his tiles for now, so he's not rocking that Barracks Samurai combo yet. So fair enough. Oh Lord, Kismek is actually struggling real hard there. Obi came in and now Archery actually managing to disband his worker. That is big, losing the worker early on. No way around that. He at least got that second city off rather safely. So that's good, of course, being the first one to get that second city out. So he's ahead in growth, but losing the worker is probably going to cancel out in that regard. And I like what you said about Japan there. You're actually trading so cost effectively. And I mean, you of course at that point where both are going to be making veteran units, then you got samurais versus Impi. Even at that point, I think I favor Japan simply because even if you don't win exactly 50% of the combats, you have the chance of enslavement, and that is actually worth quite a lot. So, well, even if you only win every third combat there, if you get a enslave out of that, that might be worthwhile for you as well. I think you're happily spending that extra shield there, or those 8 extra shields for that second samurai if you're gonna get a worker out of it. So actually, you're very right. That is an interesting matchup there, and Archie, he's in a decent spot there, I believe. Although he's gonna be forced to, of course, play very defensively here. He's a seasoned Japan player as well at this point. He likes to play very aggressively early on, at least as soon as he enters that golden age, but I don't think he's going to be able to, well, get involved as early in this one as he usually would be. We see Cheese also getting his second city out. He's going to go for that coastal. So the early builds here, not very surprising. Rome with the barracks and red warriors, is Zulu just spamming Impi. The one thing that is a bit surprising to me is actually the Incans. What do you think about Obi's build? That isn't a typical, wow, good job by Archery outspeeding here, actually protecting that forest. That is huge, getting that Impi out of his land. Still, what do you think about Obi's build here on the Incans? Barracks into archers on the Incans, size 5, doesn't even have a second city yet. And maybe he did actually end up getting G8 over there at the Iroquois, and he's just using that G8 to spam units now. Any idea? What about this build? Is it any good?
Well, if he's in GA at the moment, I imagine that he's trying to make sure he has a float that allows archer per turn. He's probably waiting for first settler size 6, drop to size 4, and still get that archer per turn pumping out.
I assume so, yes.
Yeah, I'm just watching this this dangerous Impi and what's going to happen with this samurai, whether Archery will take the combat, but it doesn't look that way.
No, actually, Anti making his way over to Obi here. That's of course quite unfortunate. You don't want to see that happen ideally, as no enslave coming through this time around for Archer, but he's getting that barb out of the way. Sadly for him, not getting an enslave. Even Anti now with a second city before Obi. That's quite surprising, as he's now adjusting his strategy and going north of it. I assume he's made a barracks by now in Zimbabwe, or he's in the process of doing so, because no impies have come out for a while. Although that might have been the he chopped the settler probably, right? Because the tile he's roading right now is a forest over there in Rome, so he must have chopped that, I assume. As that MP's got moves again now, and I guess he's gonna go over there to Obi and try his luck there, try and interrupt him as Obi. As you said, on size 4 makes that second city, so he's definitely in GA and he's pumping out those veteran archers. Actually, at this rate, if he's just stacking archers, I think Cheese might not be so successful with the typical Viking strategy of going for the Berserk fleet rush. Because at the point where he's gonna have 4 Berserks or something on boats, Obi's gonna have well enough archers not only to defend at home, but also to pressure the Vikings. And if you're investing heavily into ships and Berserks, you are super weak on defense, as Sanjay, the resident #1 capital burner, is at it again. It's funny though, this matchup over here in the West, I think is pretty favorable for the Incans at this point. The only real disadvantage they have is, of course, being in GA super early, whereas the Vikings can choose theirs. But in order for that to happen, they're gonna have to survive until that point at first. So I wonder how that's gonna play out over there in the West. What do you think of these 3 matchups here? Viking Incans, Japanese Iroquois, and Rome Zulu. Which of these is the most volatile matchup in your opinion?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that before. I think they're both really strong compositions. Yeah, I think. Were you saying that Rome was taken second by Team Obi?
Yes.
Yeah, so I like that, and I mean, I like that even more if it's one of the smaller maps where the enemy is really close. This one's a bit unfortunate in that Senjay's been. I know that you're saying it's just an optical illusion, but I think even just mentally, it can be probably a bit challenging for him to walk legions all the way over to the Iroquois. Um,
It's 10
yeah, I
tiles,
really
yeah.
like both sets of teams and good balance. One Agri in each, one Russia in each. If I had to pick, I think that probably Team Obi with Inca, Rome, Japan looks really strong in my view.
All right. Now, I thought about that as well. It's difficult to just compare these comps. I don't think anybody's got a massive advantage just out of the draft. I was quite surprised by the way they actually ended up distributing those civs, because typically in most of these tourney games, the best player on each team has grabbed the agri civ, but that's not what Anti has been doing. Actually, he's on the Zulu again here. Maybe he just feels like he's more of the Russia player, whereas it's actually Kismic, the weakest player on the team, who's playing the agri civ. That is a bit surprising to me. But maybe he wanted to make absolutely sure that they're getting the most out of that out of that OP pick there from the Zulu. Um, Again, though, most people tend to put their worst player on something like the Sumerians, and I would have thought that the Zulu fall into the same into the same category of civs, if you get what I'm saying there. So, not sure if that's actually the best civ to put onto your captain. Um, but hey, I mean, he's gonna have to make it count here. Otherwise, I feel like maybe Kismic on the Iroquois. I don't want to downplay him, right? He's the highest win rate player in this tourney, but not sure if he's gonna be the biggest carry here. I don't know. How do you feel about that? Are you gonna be scared of the Kismic Iroquois if it goes late, or or how do you feel about this? The way they ended up uh, using the civs for their players.
Yeah. I think Kiz on Iroquois is a good option. He's really good at stacking chariots. He loves to go even in normal MPT, go three city chariot stacking and then just build a 30 stack off that. But in my view, he's definitely the danger guy in the middle there. I'm just looking at Archer though, and I just have a feeling that he will be the most dangerous person on the map. He's in the middle. He's got his cheap two attack unit. He's already got his first vet samurai there. If he can GA at the right time, I think if Obi died, he'd be able to retake because he's so close. And I think also that his will have his work cut out for him being so close to Japan.
Interesting. Yeah, I've streamed a few Archery versus Kismic 1v1s already. I know these guys like to experiment a lot, even with this turning mod. And what you said about Kismic is actually super funny, because just yesterday there was a screenshot posted in the Discord where it was Kismic on Iroquois with 100 mounted warriors in MPT. Like the military advisor said it was 100 mounted warriors, so he must have actually got a 100 stack or something. I don't know. Uh, no clue here. Maybe you're right. He's just the chariot aficionado here. As it looks like Anti's actually getting a pillage off. Wow, he's actually promoting off that too. Looks like Obi losing few units trying to get that Impy to perish. He at least held on to his road, so he's going to be happy with that. And that's GA for Anti as well, right? Is that a good GA timing if you're Zulu? Are you happy about getting it at this point, or would you prefer it to be a bit later for that third or fourth city to come out?
Yeah, I think it's too late. I think
Too
you
late.
really want to have, yeah, for the GA, I think so. Or at least you want to have, I still got a couple on Rome up there, which I didn't see before, so that's good. But I think ideally you really want to choke your opponent nice and early and then get a few extra cities for some score in these small maps.
I see. Interesting though. I
Or
wouldn't.
would you prefer to stack them?
Well, I would have thought that I like typically when people play choker civs like Sumeria even the Aztecs or Zulu, they say, yeah, the only downside is that I have to take this super early GA that typically isn't as productive. And I feel like he's somewhat avoided that here. He has had Impy in enemy lands, not that successful, I gotta say. But he's now been GA'd only by Obi, and at least having a second city out to make use of that GA is something that I think is. Oh no! Oh God bless, I didn't crash here. Oh boy. Yeah, that's the thing. I sometimes, or usually when people contact me while I'm in a Discord call, I end up crashing the game. That would have been awful here, but luckily it didn't end up costing us here. Unfortunate there for Kismic, I believe, who tried to contact me here. He probably was trying to reach out to his teammate. But it looks like he didn't end up losing anything major as yeah, we see. Look at this. You were right here. That was just pure archer stacking from Obi. I got the spies on everybody. Let's see how many he's actually got. 11 archers. Quite a lot actually. Let's compare that to Scandinavia, who really doesn't have anything to compare against that. So if he just ends up walking that up to Cheese, he's already in quite some trouble there. Probably gonna have to rely on some help from his teammates there if Obi actually ends up yeah, marching all the way on over there. And it looks like that's exactly what he's got in mind. Look at Obi. He's really not scared, almost empty at home, knows that he's safe, and he's gonna try to put some pressure rather onto Cheese as wow, nice move by Anti. Looks like he got the road end of turn, but equally nicely done by Sanjay, who just in time ends up reinforcing it. So I want to talk about this Zulu pick in depth in a little bit, but first, how do you think this is going to play out on the west here? It looks like Obi's actually committing to that archer stack onto the Vikings. How do you think this is going to play out? Is Cheese going to have to delay his berserks? Is he gonna die? I don't know. What are we looking at here?
Yeah, I think it's going to be difficult for him to deal with. I think, as you know, he's going to see that next turn when it moves up one tile, and I think he's going to just be thinking GA. And he's GA straight away. But he's probably warrior per turn in capital at the moment. So I think he's probably got enough units just to sit there and defend over the next few turns. But he's going to want a GA real quick.
Oh, he's got that iron hooked already. There we go. Upgrade is done even before the auto stack ends up coming in. He gets that GA. That is crucial timing, or he's gonna be able to get it at some point quite soon here. But Obi, he isn't moving up just yet. That is surprising. I thought because he moved onto that tile last turn. I thought so. Thought he would double into Copenhagen at the end of this turn, but that gives a Cheese one whole nother turn. Let's check out if he's actually got any longboats yet. He does not. So he's not going to be tempted to move these berserks out just yet. It's going to be good for
You
him.
know, oh
Yeah.
no, maybe Obi is going to do it. I was just thinking, yes, he is doing it. I was thinking that what you want to do if you're Obi right now is you want to have that big archer stack at one city, then you want to have 3 or 4 Chaskis that double into another city at the same time. And you can see a few Chaskis sneaking out there on the left.
Oop, yes, it looks like we just dropped here. Interesting. Yeah, guess we're gonna have to reload that, of course, but fortunate timing there. But you're right, interesting. Was pretty good job there, or a pretty good thinking there from you and Obi. You're absolutely right. You want to get, if possible, want to get multiple threats out at once so that the enemy can just smash everything into your stack, or yeah, it has to split up his defenses basically. And that's gonna be interesting. You're absolutely right. This Chesky might end up coming in clutch and doing some damage there. Ooh. It's getting heated here, really. I'm liking these moves here by Obi. I wonder if that was his yeah, the strategy he's had in mind from the get-go, or whether that's an adjustment he made after getting that sort of early GA. Either way, looks like he's gonna be able to do some work there. And yeah, maybe now just because before we have to focus on this Western front for the entirety of the next 10 turns or something. I was a little bit disappointed overall by the Zulu impact in this early game. It looks like there was not a single player on this map who felt heavy pressure from them. It looks like Archiever was still able to play a very normal Japan game up until this point. Looks like Senjay, he traded a bit with him, but didn't look like he lost a worker or anything. So actually, not that impressed with the Zulus here up until this point. Looks like they handled him quite well, and as you said, the map maybe wasn't as ideal for him, but he was still within range of two enemies, so he can't complain that much, can he? Honestly, yeah. What do you think? Did we did we not see the ideal circumstances here for the Zulu, or is their impact gonna be felt stronger a little bit later in the game? What do you think about this?
Yeah, I think what we saw was that gamble with sending regular impy instead of veterans. I feel like if they were veterans, they would have been much harder to clear out. Extra opportunity to retreat as well. Because part of the benefit of those impy is that if even if you don't hold the tile that you're sitting on, as long as you get the retreat off and you don't waste the shields, and they still have value. But when they're regulars, they're just more likely to die rather than retreat. Um,
Absolutely, yeah.
I think the way he sent his impy were perfect. But I think perhaps having gone the extra barracks might have given those impy the extra punch to not fall over.
Huh. Well, that might have been necessary, especially if you remember that time where he got outsped, where he was trying to move on to that Silk Forest or something at Archiever, and Archiever got that warrior there before him. He ended up losing that combat with 1 HP, or by 1 HP, I should say. Maybe if he had that veteran impy, he would have been able to actually get that tile and kill the warrior. Who knows though? It's always easy to say in hindsight, but you did first guess this, and you did say that you prefer that barracks opening. So um, yeah, might have been right in that regard. Maybe you reduce the variance there on these rolls, and that's actually that would favor you if you're the Zulu. So good call out, I assume. Looks like we're back in here. I hope everybody's yeah. I hope everybody knows what they gotta do. Nothing ended up being screwed up here by the reload, hopefully. Uh, Feels fine. I don't think there was anything major going on during the turn. Look at this peasant. I love the animation. Do you see the stream fine again, by the way? Is it working?
Yeah, fine on my end. Yeah.
This is so funny. Look at this peasant mining away at the ground here. He moves in slow-mo. That's what I love about this great unit. Anyways, as we see it turn coming to a close, it looks like Obi is gonna move in with these archers. Or isn't he? Yeah, there you go. In moves the stack. Interesting. I wonder what Cheese's response is going to be. He gets onto the forest, I believe, right? That is a forest, isn't it? It is.
Oh no, Cheese walked off the mountain. That was an important sentry.
Oh, against the Chask, you mean, right?
Yeah, that was an important sentry for Cheese, but I suppose he needs every unit that he can in his cities right now.
Yes. I think you were absolutely correct. Spotting the Chasky there would have been massive for him, but you gotta take into account that he's at this point he's absolutely not sure whether or not he's gonna survive this. And I don't think Obi, typically when people play against players that they respect, they don't just walk up and hit into a city. I've seen this multiple times in the tournament where maybe they could have killed if they actually did that, but typically nobody does this in the tourney actually because they respect their opponent and they think they can't make it that easily. So I don't expect Obi to do this right here, but Jesus got to cover himself against that possibility still. So he moves off the mountain. And there we go. We see the Jasky move in here. Just as you said, this is going to be difficult to deal with for sure. I don't think. Well, I wonder what Obi's plan is because obviously you're right? He can pressure multiple cities at once, and that's the dream. But Jesus has done a great job of actually double roading each and every one of these cities. Look at this. There's actually no single road that Obi can cut, which would make it so that Cheese can't reinforce the city anymore. So that's good roading there, great efficiency in terms of roads and city plans. So I
Yeah.
like that.
I think we
Wonder
just saw a Zulu boat sneak out there in the
exactly.
east.
exactly. He's gonna try and put pressure onto Obi himself. I like that play a lot because we know that Obi's got to be weak at home if he's sending out that archer stack which he's built up in GA. Wonder how he's gonna play it though, as more archers start coming in. I guess he's gonna try and double move onto a road end of turn. Yeah, there he goes. Is Cheese gonna even try and block it? I don't expect him to try that. We'll see as the turn comes to a close, and Obi's still chilling on that forest. He doesn't want to open himself up. Yeah, that's like a, what is it, a 10 archer stack, 12 maybe? If Cheese hits into that with 15 or 20 warriors or something like that, he can get huge damage. He can do huge damage there, or even just 10 warriors and then a couple of berserks on top of that would do enormous damage to that archer stack. So Obi doesn't want to leave it out in the open on flat land. That's a good choice there, but you're right here. That Zulu boat is already creeping closer, and Obi's not exactly doing a lot to cover his tracks there or to set up any naval sentry. That boat that is sent out here, I think, is also meant for offense, actually. I don't think that's going to be for defensive purposes. Nowhere else is there any action going on, so we can stay focused over here on the west, as there goes Obi. Moves in with the Chasqui as well. A Cheese is hitting end of turn, but the Chasqui have come in. Is he going to try and hit a city? The city is very low there for the Vikings. A 1 HP Berserk on top, but he's not dead just yet, as oh lord, he can't have a lot of units left. Obi's now hitting from the south as well. Is he going to be able to survive this one? I'm not sure, and there he goes down. Nicely done by Obi, actually. Don't think...
great play.
Sorry, what was that? Great play?
Great play by Obi. Well done.
Really nicely done. Did the Chasqui end up making a huge difference there? I'm not sure. Maybe if those were archers would have been the same effect, but still, I mean, what do you want? He made it. He made the archer stack and punished Cheese, who I guess wasn't able to produce so much there without having GA. Let me think though before I quit this one. Yeah, I can take the screenshot here and I can tell Obi exactly how many units to disband. Because we see how many units it's got right there, right? That's the one archer in the city. It's only one archer in the captured city, isn't it? And I don't think it could be more than that one. So, yeah, I guess we gotta reload again, but this time it's well worth it. Nicely done there by Obi, really. You complimented his play, you even agreed with the Chasqui. Maybe the only thing that was kind of dangerous for him was that he was very open at home, and maybe should have made a Kura first to make sure he's not getting boated. But otherwise, I mean, absolutely nice play, and that's the fragility. Is that a word? I don't even know. That's how fragile the Vikings are. You don't have those two defense swordsmen. I believe if he's any other Civ and goes for the swordsman upgrade there, I believe he lives there, actually. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a really good point. That's probably the worst Civ to deal with an archer stack like that. It's hard to attack into, and you haven't got the true defense swordsman. Yeah, I thought Cheese had done the right thing there by doing that extra road, so he had the extra ability to reinforce. But Obi did a great job blocking that road, so he couldn't do that. I just think it was really, really good play from Obi.
Yep, I fully agree. I don't think Cheese really could have done a lot to survive that. Wow. That's going to be tough for Team Anti. I don't imagine they're going to throw in the towel over this one. I think they're going to try and somehow clutch it out. But that's a huge hit. That's a huge punch to the gut here. How do you respond here? You need a pretty quick kill here in response, don't you? So where do you go for this?
Yeah, it's tough because I mean, to me, it looks like that Rome and Japan, Arch and Senjay are pretty set up now. So it's not as though there's going to be a nice, easy kill for Anti. But maybe that boat could sneak in and take the back city if it's just one warrior.
It could. It very well could. Yep. All right.
Even that play at the start where Obi waited that little bit longer to build that first settler was a perfect move because it allowed him to maintain that archer per turn production. So it would have been tempting for him to sort of pump out maybe a city or two, and you'd probably lose 4 or 5 archers from doing that.
Oh, I believe so for sure. Ooh. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know. I still I gotta emphasize this. People don't think about that, but having no two defense swordsman is so painful, dude. I like swordsman is such a great defensive unit because at this point in the game, many civs go for a couple of swordsman upgrades um just to have something at home, and the fact that you actually don't have anything to defend with, and you saw the issue for Cheese right there as well. He doesn't have archers because he's been preparing for that berserk boat, presumably. He doesn't have any archers to defend with either. So what do you even do against something like this? I don't know, mate. Maybe you need better sentry, but where at this point you would have had to have that sentry in Obi's land or something. So I don't even know. Oh, oh boy. People are debating here, by the way. That's why we're having a bit of a hold up. People are debating in lobby what went on there. Uh,
Even if Cheese reinforced that warrior that was sitting on the iron, I think Obi still had plenty of units to take the city anyway. What they're discussing at the moment.
oh well. What they're discussing is basically what went on there and what left over. Some people are saying that the kill shouldn't have been mathematically possible because Cheese allegedly had more units in that city than Obi had attacking or whatever. Uh, I don't know exactly. Apparently, Cheese checked the saves and said that that kill shouldn't have been possible or whatever. But I mean, kill is a kill. There's nothing that would suggest that anything wrong. The only thing that really could have bugged there, maybe, was that, of course, we saw Cheese attacking end of turn into Obi's stack, right? So maybe during that end of turn stack attack, as we know, something screwed up, and Cheese lost some units or whatever. Some units ended up doing something weird. Looks like actually that launch failed, by the way. So yeah, to the viewers and to you as well. We're gonna have a bit of a delay apparently as yeah, lobby failed.
I think that's just that's the gamble you take with EOT. I know we played a game recently where I did a similar thing, and sometimes you can just get really weird combat results if you do EOT. Sometimes it works great and it removes the bombard from the archers, but yeah, every now and then you can get really strange rolls.
Yeah, that's what people have said. It's not absolutely reliable. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's the only thing with that. Basically, is what I'm saying. That's the only thing that could have potentially gone wrong there. So, huh. But either way, I don't suspect that. Just from checking the military advisor, which we did, and seeing all the units that were walking around there, it didn't look like a particularly fishy kill or anything. So it's not. I wouldn't suspect any major bugs having occurred there. Hmm. Either way, people are getting in the reload now. Again, we're trying to launch it up again. There we go. Everybody is in. Hopefully we can get it off this time around. Got my screenshot here, which also tells me the correct turn to reload. Finally, I learned to check that before going through all the the autosave files that I have while I'm in the lobby with everybody. There we go, though. Looks like everybody's made it this time. Whew. Huge kill for Team Obi here. They were the underdogs, but just as I predicted, just maybe almost as though it was scripted here. We have Team Obi potentially taking a victory here in a game that they didn't have side selection for, simply because of the Zulu draft. Or well, not simply because of it, but in part because of the Zulu draft strategy. And that's exactly what I wanted him to do. What I well postulated would have to happen for them to win on my podcast. So to all the guys who haven't listened to the latest podcast episode yet, I'm posting it in the Twitch chat right now, so you can catch up there. I'm talking to Towel on that episode about the tourney and the finals in particular as well. And we're talking about exactly that, about interesting draft strategies with Zulu and everything. Cheese keeps, by the way, we're in the reload right now in the lobby, still in the lobby. Cheese keeps bringing up the fact that he doesn't understand how he could have died there. But all right, yeah, people aren't 100% sure what happened there, but I don't know. We'll just have to move on with this, and we're reloading back in now. Jesus is gonna empty that city and he's gonna take it. All right, there you go, guys. We see. All right, we see the pause first of all, and then. Did I reload the wrong turn? No, I didn't. I didn't. I definitely didn't.
Looks right to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think what must have happened is end of turn stuff, right?
This is always the gamble with EOT. This stuff can happen.
I mean, that's the thing. I have no idea what he did there, right? He could have end of turn attack with all the units he had in that city and lost almost all of them, and then got killed in the next turn, which would be a reasonable chain of events. And yeah, I mean, that's so weird. But like the thing is, this is just the only thing. This is just another example as to why end of turn stack attacks are such a weird thing. That is super confusing, I guess, right? That's another one of these things that where, well, we can just watch it happen and acknowledge it. But I mean, this is, yeah. Yeah, it's MPT, right? This is everybody who's played a few games of MPT has seen something like this happen before, right? Where you got some stacks clashing into each other and end of turn magic, bada bada boom, and ooh, would you look at that? I'm dead somehow. That's how MPT goes from my experience every now and then. So, eh, whatever. So I guess yeah. I guess yeah, the reasonable course of action is still to repeat all the moves, and it's exactly what we're doing. Oh wow, he's really had a lot of berserks there. But this is weird. I do agree with Cheese. Wow, is he gonna crash the game again off this? Oh, don't you say. Oh, all right. I guess we might need a better solution for this, because if we just load this with AI, the AI might actually survive this, just like Cheese is saying there. Bruh. Alright, how do we go about this? This is weird. Well, one thing that's sure is we're gonna have to reload it once more. Uh,
I think maybe Obby could try taking it with the chassis. Maybe that Archer stack is a bit bugged. He's
possibly,
moved the Archer stack in, and that might have just bugged the game.
possibly, but it looks like he only moved in with one unit, maybe, still. Not sure that makes it, I don't know, mate.
Yeah,
Bruh.
yeah, it's a tough one.
Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder what these guys think about this, how they resolve that. She's still maintaining that there's no way he should have mathematically died there. I don't have a clue, but guess we'll have to figure it out. Sucks that the game keeps crashing off it though. That's what tends to happen on these 30 maps. Every kill is usually a crash. Uh, yeah, what do we do here? We can't just load with AI, can we? Mm, all right. Ooh, boy. Oh boy. Yeah, people really aren't sure how to do this without crashing again.
Another option could be that you have Cheese empty the city, but Obby only takes it next turn, start
That,
of next turn.
that's what I thought as well, right? We could do that.
I think better to use the chassis because less likely to be bugged.
I can suggest that to them too, yeah. Uh, 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 hmm. I'm actually gonna try it with AI now because Obi says there's a chance he can, that could end up working. Uh, all right, trying to launch it back up again. We try with AI this time around to make it work. And yeah, I guess we'll find a way eventually, right? That's the hope. Oh, please. Oh yeah, the lobby seems fine at least. Oof. That's the autosave. Yep. All right. Back in we go. We've got Jesus and AI, and Obi's gonna again try to take that city for the stream. Oops, I didn't read that chat message that just came in there at the end.
I think Arch was just making the joke.
Oh,
Telling you to bomb cheese.
yeah, that didn't work. To everyone's surprise. Tons of berserks left in that city, just like it seemed there when Cheese moved out. Yeah. What's the play there? What's the play? Uh, Not that that's gonna make a huge difference, but maybe. No, I don't have any planes left. He can try and hit with the remaining units, and maybe he somehow gets the kill and doesn't lose too many more units than he actually did. Yeah, let's see if that works. Doesn't look like he's getting great rolls. And Kismic dropped, apparently. Yeah, it's gonna be a wild one, guys. This is gonna be absolutely the Civ 3 multiplayer experience. 5 reloads per turn. Hey. So I guess the suggestion you made there at the end, which I was also thinking about, is the one that makes the most sense at this point, I guess, right? Just reload it with and empty the city, wait a turn, and then take it out, I guess, is the only way. Ah, unfortunate always. This stuff keeps happening. But we're all used to it at this point.
It's going to be pretty tough for Team Anti to come back from here, but I guess I respect the attempt.
No, absolutely, right? That's as you mentioned, he's got that boat out if nothing else. So who knows? Who knows? I mean, we gotta give him the chance to play on, right? It's not like we can just scrap it here and assign them the victory. Ah, dang it. Hey, we'll figure it out. Ooh. Oh boy. Alright, looks like we've settled on a course of action here. Gonna empty the city. Ooh. Jeez. Again, try to message me when I launched here already. Unfortunate. We're getting there, folks. Apologies to all the viewers, but it's an odyssey sometimes with these reloads. Okay. Alright. So we're preparing that whole reload and kill and whatever. Ah. Alright, I'm showing you guys this in case we don't have to reload again. Well, Looks like we do. Looks like we do. Okay. There we go. We're getting one step closer with every reload now. I'm promising you guys it's getting there. It might not look like it, but we're getting close. I got a save out of this reload that we're probably gonna be able to use for Obi to take the city on. With AI. So that should be no problem anymore at this point. Ah, awesome. Can't believe it. Oh, dang it. Oh god, I'm just noticing that I didn't even put the oh boy. Oh boy, my stream setup, my layout is so screwed. Saved. Alright. Hey. Final reload here, hopefully, for this whole thing. Okay, folks. Come on. Oh yeah, God bless the people got into the lobby. So there we go. It should finally work this time around. I'm fairly confident. Like 50% confident. That's all I can give you guys for now. Okay, this should be it. We've got the AI, we've got all the correct sys. Yeah. Here we are. Hopefully this goes through. Oh, we should be able to kill this AI.
Ah, there we go.
Great. I'm reminding everybody to check their moods, and now we can play on. We're back into this game in the YouTube video. I will mark this last 40 minutes or whatever as a reload to be skipped. So now let's focus back on the action. We see Archiever's planning for his GA. He's going to get it off Obi, but first, of course, there might be some boating going on here. Kismek on his third city as well as Sanjay by now is something we might have missed. But Anti is creeping closer to Obi's border. Looks like Obi's disbanded everything up there. Yeah, that looks absolutely correct. I'll make sure to investigate the city too. Yeah, that's the correct amount of units. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So, looks like Anti's been found out over here. He sees that, right? Across the volcano? He's got vision there? Well, he's got now.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so that cat is out of the bag, or however you say it. It looks like he's gonna get the landing off still, but it's not much of a surprise anymore. Maybe he can outspeed Obi and somehow do some damage there. For now, he's just gonna go onto the road. Is he gonna try and hit Machu Picchu too? It looks like he is. The city's going low. He's actually gotten the kill off. What? What? No way, Obi. He didn't actually just die to this, did he? Oh my lord. He saw so far in advance too. Oh, I can't believe this. He could have even... Oh, I guess maybe he was busy chatting to Kismic or something. Because they started chatting at the end of last turn or something. I don't know about that, but I mean, you can't die to this man. What? That's huge. That's absolutely massive. Why? Bro, these 2 kills that we've seen here. Ah. Nah, no way, man. Oh lord, what are we seeing today? This game, these kills that are coming through are so weird. But yeah, the unexpected has definitely come through, and Obi is emphasizing here in the lobby that yeah, it was a bit weird to have him chatting at the exact same time where they were landing him. I gotta say that's yeah, not sure what Kismic was talking to him about there. That was a bit weird. That is just bad. That is just bad manners, though. I don't think that's even illegal. So, I mean, there's that. But still, I mean, oh, oh boy. Anyhow, oh, oh boy, I can't believe this. I guess what we're doing again is to just reload with AI here. Obi could have only had 1 unit in that city. So yeah, we don't need Obi here actually. We can just reload like this. And we're gonna get back in here rather quickly. This should be resolved way quicker than the last situation there, at least. I'm pretty confident. Yeah, this is a whole reload mess, this game, but at least we're getting action too. It's not the highest level of gameplay, but it's definitely still hype. It's definitely still punches being thrown, and... Why is there 2 Siths left? Why is there... Why is there... Huh? Do I not have an autosave? Or... What's happening here? I'll try to load again, but what's going on there? Why do we... Something weird's going on with my autosave here, I'm convinced. Oh, not... that's the wrong one, of course. Oh, we need Obi as the AI. Oh, mate. It looks like we're gonna get in here soon. Nobody's saying anything, so I assume everybody's just agreeing with what I'm saying. And again, we're trying to get into the game again after both these kills. Oh yeah. Okay, it looks like we're trying to have this go through again. Anti's gotta try and take the kill again, of course. Hopefully uh, this doesn't go wrong due to terrible RNG or anything now. Hey, we're getting there though. Yeah, looks like that kill came through fine. Just saving. Okay. Anyhow, it looks like it's resolved and the game is back on the way. We've got the stream back up and running. Looks like everything is looking fine here tech-wise. So, yeah, people putting their mutes back up, and the game is running here. Honestly, it's wild and chaotic now, but I still believe that Obi's team is heavily favored here. That's at least how I see things. Because this is just super tough for Antiquity to hold on to. Is there anything you can do to avoid this just being retaken swiftly by the Japanese? Any idea?
Yeah. Looks like it's going to be retaken. Only one archer in there.
Yeah, Anti was complaining that I made it clear to the enemy team that he only had one archer in there. I would just like to say that Obi knew that, of course, so he could have just told his team that that's only one archer in there. But I mean, still, the more relevant fact is, he's got one archer in that city. He's maybe whatever. He's maybe already ferrying a few units over, but Japan is roading up there. He's got a bunch of samurai. He might even get a 1v1 off soon here. I don't think there's going to be another unit produced in Machu Picchu soon.
What's in that Kismet stack? This has got a stack coming down.
Oh yeah, he does. All right, so he's trying to pressure so that Japan can just full commit on that city. That's gonna be interesting, honestly. Looks like or Japan might be in some trouble if he's committing too heavily for that city retake. So yeah, good job pointing that out. That is a potent stack to threaten with. He's not even in GA yet, Kismic, and he's already, you can see he's already gone for that upgrade here. So no more chariot stacking for him. He's gonna make it count now. It's now or never, and this is gonna be crucial. If he can kill Japan before Japan kills Zulu, that's game over. There's no chance that Rome could 2v1 here. But if they end up trading 1-for-1, say Archreaver takes out Zulu and then falls to the Iroquois, that would make for a very interesting 1v1 between Rome and the Iroquois at that stage, I believe. Of course, we are far from there yet. Still, Sanjay even popping horseback riding, although I don't think that's too relevant for him. I don't think he's going to be all too sad about that. Probably wasn't looking to stack a bunch of chariots either. So no, Anti is just full on committing to those galleys now, I assume. Whereas Archer is trying to take him out as quickly as possible so he can focus on the Iroquois. He doesn't have great sentry. He's got that one gem warrior, as you can see. As soon as he spots those Iroquois units, what do you reckon he's gonna do about that? Is he gonna retreat with his samurai and focus on defense, or do you think he's got enough at home to deal with that and still try and keep this push going for Machu Picchu? How's he gonna play this?
I mean, would Team Obby win this 2v2? So if Arch just plays to defend and they play for a bit of score, would that be enough? I'm not sure about that though.
Oh, that's so difficult. They are down one aggressive, so that's typically a bad sign, right? When you're lacking aggri, aggri is typically free score. So yeah, and it's difficult to tell because Rome's in a good spot to stack score. They're difficult to kill as well, and they've planted a little bit further apart than the other civs. So I guess Sanjay there could get a lot of score. I'm just not sure how much score Archery would be able to stack still, because how is he going to defend against Iroquois and Zulu if they end up ganging up on him at some point. I guess he's relying on some pressure from Rome too, but it's not going to be all that easy, I don't think. So I wouldn't be comfortable here if I'm Team Obi. Wouldn't be comfortable relying on scoring this one if I'm being frank. This just doesn't seem like a surefire victory condition, but maybe it's the best one they have. I just feel like they really rely on getting that kill onto Zulu. Iroquois stack now being spotted too by Archiver's sentry. I feel like Rome needs to get involved here though. He's just sitting at home still, and he need to either Iroquois or Zulu. I feel like he's got to send something now, because you know Zulu is scrambling to defend his city, presumably. And you know that the Iroquois just sent a stack out to the Japanese. So if you're Rome, you gotta threaten somebody. Both Iroquois and Zulu are quite weak at home. I think he's not doing his teammate a favor here by just continuing to build here. What do you think? What's the best play for Sanjay at this point, while Archie was struggling here to play this 2-4 war?
Sanjay needs to get in the game, and to be honest, if he can get one boat up there to the Iroquois out of Antium, I think that's the perfect play, because Kiz is not going to defend his northern city properly and river.
Oh, it's not across river, is it? No, he's got the road.
No, sorry, Grand River.
Oh, Grand River. Oh, sorry, I misheard that then. No, yeah, you're right, definitely. That is a good play to get involved on. I'm not sure if one boat's enough, right? And even, you know, I just feel like Archie was struggling if both enemies can focus on him, which they are doing right now. So I think maybe even sending a boat to the Iroquois would even be too sneaky for my liking. I feel like Rome should very obviously move out to one of the two enemies right now, just so they know that they can't just do whatever they want to the Japanese. Yeah, and Archie was saying that too. With Impy being in Machu Picchu, it's not going to be very easy. He's got 4 samurai capable of hitting in 3, but at that point, I feel like that second Zulu galley is going to be already there. So if that galley makes it here before the 4 samurai can hit, then there's no shot of taking that city with the first wave of units. And at that point, it's looking bad for him. He's also already getting pressured at home, as we can see. And Kismek, he doesn't have a ton of mounted warrior upgraded, of course. He's also not in the GA yet, but he's got a few of them out, so I feel like he's trying to get it off the Romans right now, who are still just sitting at home with their legions. Oh no, never mind. Now they're coming out. I like that at least. See, they're getting involved now. It's 10 tile distance to Salamanca, so it's going to take him a while. Take him a while, but he's going to try his best getting there. Zulu's still trying to get their own reinforcements over. Yeah, there we go. No, they're not going to be in time, actually. He's already moved this turn, which Archiver hasn't, I don't think. Archiver double moves next turn, or end of this turn, onto Machu Picchu. This galley can't reinforce. Question is Archiver going to have the balls to do that? And is he going to get rewarded for it if he does? Because I think there's 2 Impy and 1 Archer at least, but he might have made another unit, actually, ever since he's taken that city, right? There's no chance he's getting more than 1 shield per turn out of that city, but he could have made a warrior or an archer, maybe even an archer, yeah, at this point. Maybe could even pop rush one. I'm not sure. Probably he's banking on getting walls in there. No, he just pop rushed something. See, the size just went down. So he's going to get another unit or walls next turn. So very low chance of Japan actually taking that city with the 4 samurai that he's got. Looking difficult, can't lie. And now even the Zulu funneling archers over there from the east. It's 3 directions now that the Japanese are getting ganged up on from. So it's about time that Sanjay is able to make an impact too. I feel like he's going in there, and the walls have come up in Machu Picchu. It's 4 versus 3 units. Looks like the first combat didn't quite go his way. Although, the second one's so close. Can he at least take out the archer? That would be so crucial, but no. Oh, what a terrible roll on that one. He only killed 1 unit there, and he didn't even get an enslave off it too. Oh, he's right though. He's got the GA finally, I guess. But, bruh, that is disheartening there. If I'm Japanese, I only killed 1 unit there. That must have been one of the Impy, right? So still one Impy and an Archer remaining there within that walled city. It's gonna be so difficult to take out here. Can't lie. I just don't think you're gonna outscore them. Look at this. You're behind. Just counting the alive players. You're behind 20 points in score. I don't think
Yeah,
you're
they
gonna.
need kills.
They need one, right? I mean, realistically, now even getting cleaned up by that Archer and more Impy coming on over. Oh, it's difficult though. Look at Archery there. What's he gonna do? He's three fronts to deal with. I don't think he can force a kill on his own anymore at this point, despite Machu Picchu being cut off in some regards. Kyoto now getting threatened as well by these Impy. At least Sanjay, he's trying to make something work now. He doesn't have any boats. I'm just assuming he maybe doesn't have map making. I'm not sure.
That city's not even. It's not even roaded. NJ's top city.
No, it isn't. He really doesn't seem to worry about that. He's just roading westwards, I believe, right? Yeah, he's got two workers. He's just trying to road up to the Iroquois. I mean, I don't hate that decision, right? He's got sentries on both coasts. I guess he could get boated over that northern route here, but he's pretty safe in that city. Although, yeah, maybe you're right. It's a bit careless considering that he doesn't have full naval priority. He's now trying to get to the Iroquois. But this stack alone, I don't think it's gonna cut it. Maybe it is though. Oh boy, it's gonna be tense though. I feel like the momentum's now back in Anti's hands as he defended Machu Picchu. And yeah, I don't think anyone on his team is really close to dying here, whereas Archie is just in an ugly spot, I would say. He's at least in GA now, so he's not gonna die soon. He's just not gonna be able to score a bunch, I don't think, and that's the crux of it, right? You're relying on getting a kill, but you're not in a great position to force one. So, I'm not loving this if I'm Team Obi. Antium even on fire here, as you can see. Maybe he should have rotated it to get that luxury in there. Maybe that's what he was missing. It's a rough look. Look at this. This is just Zulu can just sit there at home, completely carefree, no threats on him at all, and he's just spamming out units again in all directions, just like he was doing at the start of the game, really. What is this, mate? This is such a tough look for them, and Anti now after that very sketchy and disastrous kill really onto Cheese. They've completely flipped the script here and are looking to take that 2-1 lead in the series. Would be a real tough blow for Team Obi after that interesting strategy they pulled off and how promising it looked early on. But it's not all over just yet. Yeah, Archie was just taking his GA. Remember, Rome about to get their own one, and you can see he's listening to you. He's
Yeah, I think it's the right play.
He's getting that galley out too. Just like that's pretty much what Obi did, right? He sent the stack in by foot and then he reinforced with a sneaky flank attack from the Chaskies. That's pretty much what Rome's gonna do now with the Legion stack here and then the extra units that he's gonna ferry in per boat. Well, we'll see if that's gonna do anything.
He's going to attack into it. It's a risky play, I think.
Although I think that's your best bet, right? At some point, when Rome is on your road, you're gonna have to attack into Rome. So why not attack into him while he's on flatland? He doesn't have archers in that stack. He's got one archer in there, and we're in a 5-player lobby. So I think that's the right play. You know you're gonna have to attack into him at some point. Why not do it while he's on flatland? Preferably while Rome isn't fortified yet, right? When Sanjay moves that stack up, which is gonna be in just a second, I think Kismi's just gonna go for it. This is gonna be terrible, I believe, for Rome. Did he get that hit off though? Oh, who's hitting into whom here? I can't tell. I think it's the Iroquois though who ended up getting that hit off. Yeah, look at these legions. Looks like they're dying. Wow, it looks like he's actually getting real nice rolls there, the Iroquois. Is he even losing any units? Wow, this is brutal.
Some good rolls.
Oh boy, he just completely evaporated that stack. That's That's game-ending levels of disaster for Rome here. He just traded. I'm not sure Iroquois. Oh boy, I'm not sure Iroquois lost any units there.
I take back what I said. That was the perfect play from Kiz.
Yeah, I mean that's right. Even of course that was just some real nice rolls there with the retreats too. I think he might have gotten a few retreats and therefore, yeah, that's like 3 1 HP units. Oh boy, this is absolute disaster there for Team Obi. Oh mate, but that's what I was saying, right? That's what you want to do. At some point, you're gonna have to hit into those legions, or they're just gonna start pillaging your stuff. So yeah, why not do it there? No river defense bonus, unfortified, on flatland. It's the best chance you're gonna get. And the lack of archers in that stack really cost him there. It's what it looked like. Great play. It looks like he actually didn't move that boat, or maybe he moved it back now into Antium at this point. Bruh, I really wonder what their play going forward is now. At least he probably got GA, although I'm not even sure, right? Did Rome even get GA off this? Possibly not. Although I think I saw a 2 HP Legion for a while, so that might have either been a retreat or a kill on that unit. That would be real important to know whether or not Rome got his GA off that. If he didn't, I think that's just game over there at this point. How is he ever going to get that GA? Let me just investigate some city. And yeah, he's in GA. All right. Lucky. Lucky for the Romans, he at least got that. Yeah. I don't know, mate. I don't know what the strategy is now. Rome can stack archers, I assume. He's got that. He's planted on that iron, right? No. Oh no, he's pillaged the iron. All right, so he's, I guess, gonna try and stack up some more legions. He's in GA now. I guess they're farming some gold. We see Temple down in Tokyo as well with that religious. I guess Japan doing their own little thing here to contribute to score, but still, only counting the alive players, they're down by 20 in score. And the other two guys, Obi and Cheese, are virtually irrelevant, I believe. They're like, right? I mean, they've pretty much got the same score. Maybe a slight advantage there for Team Obi, but not more than 5 or 10 points, I don't think. So you're definitely gonna need that kill here. I just don't see a realistic avenue to get one. Zulu so tough to kill. They even look at how hard they're committed for offense. They really want to force something onto Japan here. They're not just trying to sit back here. I feel like after that kill on the Legion stack, the actually correct play for Iroquois and Zulu is to just play for score now. At least that's how I feel. But maybe they don't. Maybe Anti doesn't trust Kismet to survive this one if Rome and Japan really try to force it onto him. Either way, they're moving out with those stacks and potentially looking for that kill. Could also just move them up so Japan can never move out of home. That can also be a reason to move to get a stack onto someone. But yeah, I believe they're going to try and look for a kill here. It's not going to be easy though, as Japan's been in his J for a couple of turns now. I assume he's got a ton of archers. Let's actually check out what's that army composition's looking like. It's not unkillable by any means, but it's a decent amount of units. Scott there is even catapulting away at those Impi, it seems. Although with just one catapult, that's gonna take a while to make a dent there. It's looking tough for Arch and Sanjay. I don't think they've got a real plan for how they're gonna kill here. Still, both of them are pressuring Archiever, so it is definitely on Sanjay to find a way to get involved with whatever he's got left. He's got to get on to somebody here. He made that boat, right? Where's that boat gone? Oh, it's still sitting there, as you can see there up north. He's again moving out. He's got two boats actually, so he's moving out again with those. I like this, right? That's the obvious play he's gonna go for. Both enemies are stacking in Archiever's land. They've even got that mountain. Maybe a strategic misplay for Archiever to give that up. But still, I mean.
Oh, look, Grand River is weak. That has to be the play for Senjay. That boat needs to go straight away.
I mean, sure, right? That's the ideal play for him. I hope he's gonna get involved soon though, because it looks like Archie that it's not gonna make it that much longer. He's also compare this to Cheese, who had the double roads everywhere. Archie was very easy to pillage out here at home, especially Tokyo is just so fragile. So yeah, it's hanging by a thread. Look at this. Kismet feels so emboldened now. He feels so safe at home right now without having any naval sentry. I guess he's got that warrior near the coast, but Kismet sees, or sorry, Sanjay sees that. So he can just move his galleys around that warrior's vision, and Kismet wouldn't have much to do about that. He can land Grand River within 2 turns, right? He can, yeah, exactly. He can go from this onto here, land Grand River. I wonder why Kismik's actually moving out so hard with literally everything he's got. But I guess he just wants to make sure Arch River dies. Of course, Japan can't hold if they're gonna hit with all these units that they've brought right there. But Sanjay's still there. He's the wild card. The only thing. Oh, interesting. Spearman here by Kismik. Do you think he's maybe gonna figuring out that he might get pushed again? Super interesting choice that he actually going for the Spearman though, but something like that could end up saving him at the end. Interesting play. I'm not sure if Sanjay still got moves left on these boats, but I think he's moved them already this turn. That would make end of next turn where he can try to get a landing off at the earliest. If that's what he's looking for. It's not going to be easy for him though, as Kismik still got a warrior here in between to potentially spot out the galleys if Sanjay mismoves them. We see Anti is probably going to try and get a pillage off or something. He moves those Impi around and he's gotten his stack into Japan. Don't think Archie can survive for lots of turns here. So yeah, please Sanjay, help your buddy out quickly as those mounted are already within hitting range. I believe they're gonna hit next turn actually. Looking at this, looks like they're gonna hit this very turn. They're moving in onto Tokyo. They're also hitting at Osaka. Yeah, they're dropping low everywhere. These, oh yeah, you can see him dropping down low in all 3 cities. He's getting hit. I don't think he's gonna hold on for very long, if I'm being honest. Kyoto, Osaka, both looking quite weak, and it's the middle city of all, which is looking very fragile. He's still alive there, but I think some Impi might still be able to attack there. Kyoto is now also dropping low in Tokyo. Yeah, it's just coming down in all directions here. Wow, it's a double. It's the Zulu who end up getting the kill. All right, but we didn't drop. We didn't drop. That's awesome. And well, good job to Anti. Pretty decently done kill, right? They coordinate very well and hit 3 cities at once. Oh boy. Oh, mate. But nicely done here. Can't complain about this. Was pretty decent play. Kismik moving out with everything, maybe a bit of an overkill. But Archie also, he did his best to defend that. Don't think he realistically could have done much different there, unless you disagree. But I don't see what play he would have had. Maybe Sanjay can pull a miracle landing off here. He's gonna have to be quick though. He's moving up those galleys. Oh, now he doesn't go for the beeline to Grand River. Oh, that's giving Kismek a whole nother turn of producing and reinforcing units at home. So it's getting less and less likely for Rome to actually find the kill off of this one. Hey, but I guess we'll see. It's gonna have to be happen on this turn, or otherwise it's not gonna be happening at all, I don't think. Anyhow, I've got bad news for Team Obi here. Even if he gets the kill onto Kismik, I don't think he's gonna be favored in that 1v1 against the Zulu. Just purely because of score reasons as well, right? The Zulu have like these 2 captured cities super far away. Rome pretty much can't threaten, and that's gonna be free score for Team Antiquity 2. And now it's the lowest rated player on Team Obi left against the enemy captain and Kismix Iroquois. It's not likely. I can tell you all that much. Oh boy.
Really well played by Team Anti this game, though. Both their kills were really well done.
Well, yeah, I mean, the kill onto Obi was a bit of a shit show. I can't lie. Like the chatting end of turn there was super weird, and then yeah, he got that kill off. I guess he blocked the road and then attacked into him, but that should have never been a kill. I agree on this one. That was really nicely coordinated there onto Japan. The first one was a bit of a shit show, I gotta say, but most importantly, very nicely done in terms of keeping calm after losing Cheese there early on and finding the best avenue back into this game. Also, just in general, quick thinking on Anti to send out that galley as soon as Cheese mentioned that he was getting moved on by Obi. And Sanjay, yeah, he's moving very late, but he didn't get that unload off, I don't think. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Well, that's it then. We've only got 20 turns left, and he'd need 2 kills at this point. Doesn't look like he's gonna get a single one. As the Iroquois getting great rolls still. Oh boy. A retreat as well. Look at how well those mounted perform into those legions. That's gonna be it, folks. It looks like Rome's gonna fold right here. Unfortunate there, that landing just not in time for him to make it happen. But yeah, decent job. We've mentioned a couple of times before how that was his way to get involved here. Didn't execute cleanly enough, and of course Kismik probably was ready to reinforce at this point. Anyways, however, yeah, decent effort by Sanjay. He tried his best there at the end, and still, I still agree with his move to send his stack onto the Iroquois. Maybe needed a few more archers in there, but I agree with the move on paper. Kismik just responded very well, and still having all those mounted warriors at home, of course, made it quite easy for him to defend a pure legionary stack. He could even die at home here, by the way, Roe. It looks like he's not giving too much of a thought to defending here, as Anti, well, could just take out Kumai at any point if he so chose. Of course, doesn't have vision of that city, but no, he could go for it. I would find that funny. It would be the first triple kill by a single player in this tourney if Anti got that third kill here as well somehow. And yeah, it doesn't look like he's going for it yet. Kismik stamping out those legions in the corner. And I expect that to be it, quite frankly. I don't think... I would be surprised if Sanjay kept playing here. Doesn't look like he's got anything left in the tank. Oof. So by all likelihood, that's going to be 2-1 for Team Anti here in the finals. A very, very weird game plagued by reloads, weird interactions and everything. But still, let's maybe talk about, to close this out, talk about what we expect going forward here and how this could be turned around. If you're Team Obi, and maybe it's not time to panic just yet. This was a game you were expecting to lose, presumably, because the enemy had side choice. And they also had a really strong lineup, right? They had Cheese and Anti both playing here. And Cheese is a player who barely plays anymore at all at this point. So decent chance that in the next games Cheese wouldn't be playing. But on the other side, I heard Team Obi's also having quite some difficulty scheduling themselves, and they are possibly not going to be able to field strong lineups anymore either. They do have, for game 4 on Sunday, they do have side selection there, so maybe they can come back in this series that way. Nobody has lost a game yet with side selection in the finals. However, That's yeah, that's anyone's guess. Look at this. Oh boy. That's the classic MPT, the military grade leader coming out when everything's decided already anyways. Oh boy. It's going from bad to worse here. But now what are we expecting here? What do you think is Obi dead? Is Obi's team just done for? Can they strike back in game 4 with side selection? Or
Yeah, I'm
his
really not sure why Sanjay hasn't whipped out the GG yet.
Yeah,
It's
he's gonna presumably. So I guess we can assume that this one's done for though. I'm just saying though, going forward, like game 4, game 5, what chances do you give Team Obi to make a comeback here?
Well, I think it's great next game that they'll have side selection, won't they? Because they've lost this one.
Yeah, yeah.
It'll be interesting to see, how they do their picks for next game. And I agree with Tao. I still think having that first pick is a big advantage. Um, I think they're well placed, and maybe there'll be a game 5 in the series, which is exciting.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Still, game 5, of course, then would be with side selection for Team Anti. So that is the advantage they got out of finishing first in groups. Whew, I wonder. I wonder if it's gonna get to that point. I hope so, really, because the more games, the better. Of course. Um, it's not looking great for Team Obi so far, though. I mean, just because I know they're having a tough time assembling lineups. Scheduling isn't easy for them at this point in the tourney, so they would have been really glad grabbing that victory here. I can tell you all that much. A victory in a game where the enemy had side selection, that would have been so massive, but of course, it just wasn't meant to be here. From both sides, of course, we had some weird box interactions and then that 2 pretty unfortunate kills there. Both on the Kismic now discovering the
And if
coastline. Perfect.
Rab plays the next game, our one big advantage would be that they've pretty much, because they've got side selection, they've guaranteed that Rabdag will be a rush sieve, so that's good.
Okay. I see what you're saying there. So if you can guarantee a first pick onto Redback and you can guarantee that to be either Zulu or Aztecs, right? I mean, the opponent can only ban one of those, presumably the Zulu. So Redback Aztecs are pretty scary in this tourney. I think Aztecs still undefeated. This will actually only be the second loss for the Romans in this tourney. They are 8-1, I believe, so far. So it's going to be their second loss here, unfortunately. Yeah, you're right. Redback on some rushes. Maybe that's the formula they need in order to come back in this one. I don't want to spoil anything for strategic purposes, right? I'm not going to give away info that the teams gave me in case their opponent is watching the stream right here. Yeah, so I'm gonna say if Rapdex if you play game 4 and some rushes, that would be ideal for them. And honestly, possibly what they're relying on at this point. Still though, they have side selection, but so maybe even without Rabdak, even if rushes are banned, maybe they can still develop a strategy that allows them to sneak a win there on their home map or on their home side, I assume. It's gonna be tough though, right? Frankly, Team Anti is actually just a very well-rounded team. They've got Anti and Cheese, 2 captain level players, and then they even got they've got their middle tier players, right? Which is Hein, Elk, Abby, Kismic. That block of 4 players is a decent block of MPT players, and all of those aren't great availability. Kismic is very available, but Elk, Abby, and Hein might be having some difficulties scheduling. Even so, having 4 pretty decent MPT players behind your 2 big names is more than almost anyone else can claim. So their team is just very stacked. So I wouldn't be all that surprised if they ended up winning it. They are favored at this point. Rome trying to clear out those few units here. This is still significant because if Anti gets this kill on Rome, he's going to be the first player in the tourney to get a triple kill. And that would be a really funny narrative if the first game where Zulu is left up is the game where they got a triple kill. After, remember, 1 hour ago I said I was disappointed by this Zulu pick because it didn't do much early game. And then it turns out he's going to get a triple kill and ace the enemy. Don't think that was highly reliant on Zulu. I feel like these 2 kills that Anti's gotten, he could have gotten with any Civ. Am I wrong there? Did Zulu play a huge part in the 2 kills that he's got?
No, I don't think it was the impies that made the difference. It was just, smart choices from Anti.
Yeah. But even still, I mean, if that's going to be the only Zulu game of the tournament, then I feel like people are going to feel, the stats are going to justify the high ban presence of that Civ, I guess. Although, again, out of this game, I just gotta say the Zulu didn't look all that problematic. I feel like maybe you could play with the idea of leaving them up. That's what I loved about this draft, especially, I gotta say. The Civs that got banned and picked for the first time in this tournament, it felt to me like it was actually the Civs that performed well in the tournament that were being prioritized, and not the Civs that people didn't like, or the Civs that people were scared of for some reason. It was actually the Civs prioritized that were doing well in the tourney. So I gotta commend that. That was a pretty interesting strategy there from both teams, really. High priority on Rome, leaving Zulu up because we hadn't seen them yet. Scandinavia being picked as well, which is performing very well, but also banned very often. And the Celts even being left up until the 3rd ban rotation. So I liked both of these teams' approaches here. It feels like they both went very seriously here and tried to really narrow down on what would end up making a difference. But it looks like we're gonna have it closed out here in just a second. Kismic's probably gonna be able to take out Kumai with those mounted, if I had to guess. Maybe he's trying to give over the kill to Anti or something. No, it doesn't look like it. Anti is the one trying to clear out the road. And he is not fortunate, right? He's even getting that retreat. Finally gets onto the road, and that should be it. I assume we're watching that 3rd and final kill for Team Anti. Sadly not by the Zulu themselves, apparently. Although, maybe if Sanjay can defend that for a turn, Anti can actually... no, he can't. There we go. 3rd kill comes in. Iroquois takes that city. And easy game. Oh boy. Oh boy, Anti. Don't, yeah. Don't put salt in the wounds as well. Nah, it's all in good fun, guys. It's 2-1 for Team Anti. Congrats to them. Now officially as well, we saw 4 kills in that game, so that was hype. This is gonna be hype though. We're gonna see game 4 of this tournament final on Sunday. For now, it's scheduled for well, let me check. It's scheduled for 8 a.m. Eastern Time, which would be 2 p.m. in Central Europe, or 10 p.m. wherever my co-caster is at. So, yeah, look forward to that. I hope people are going to be able to join. It's pretty much exactly 1.5 days from now, 36 hours from now. Hope everybody can join us for that potential final game of the tournament. The series is at 2-1 for Team Anti. 3 games needed, 3 game victories needed to get the title. And it's looking very good for them. Can Obi come back? Or is Anti going to close it out? Final thoughts there from Riva. Anything about the game today? Anything about the tourney that you want to end on?
No, just looking forward to the next match, and thanks for having me on to chat with you.
Yep, was a great experiment here having a co-cast on. It was a very pleasant game to watch as well, despite all the reloads. GG's to the players, thanks to the viewers, and I'll see you guys in 36 hours.